Hey everyone, welcome back to Cheddar Shakers. Founded in 2015, Harlem Capital is dedicated to investing exclusively in female and minority-founded startups. And for more on the mission of its new $40.3 million fund, we're joined by Henri-Pierre Jacques, who is a managing partner at Harlem Capital, and Brandon Bryan, venture partner at Harlem Capital as well. Gentlemen, great to have you here with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Let's dive right in. Henri, do you already have a plan for which companies will be receiving a slice of this fund?
Yeah, so we've actually already invested in 8 companies from the fund. We're at our first close in November of 2018. We've been deploying capital actively. We're looking to do 10 deals a year, 30 deals in the fund overall. So we have 2 more deals actually already locked up that we're hoping to close before the end of the year. And what we're focused on is seed and Series A companies that are run by minority and women founders.
Brandon, you guys have a goal of investing in 1,000 diverse founders over the next 2 decades. How do you start?
You start by deploying capital. Not many firms like Harlem Capital can actually lead a venture round like us. So our check size is between $250,000 all the way up to $1 million, and we were oversubscribed, so we're super excited to be able to follow on afterwards.
I guess finding, right? Because I think the prevailing thesis here, or the
You're saying finding
the founders themselves, right? Because there's been a pipeline problem.
There's definitely not a pipeline problem. They're definitely out here. I think our media presence has helped us quite a bit, not only sourcing LPs and institutions who wants to invest in our fund, but also 50% of our deal flow comes from the management teams reaching out to us.
There's more opportunity now for some of the entrepreneurs to also have a spot in the light where at these conferences where they're really promoting a lot of the diverse voices, whether that's diversity in gender or diversity in actual ethnicity as well. Looking at that, where have you kind of found the hot pockets for really getting some of these companies an opportunity to get in front of you, make their case and make their pitch as well?
Yeah, so 50% of our deals come directly from founders, so all of our emails are on our website. We're very transparent, that's really important. But in terms of geography, so New York and LA have actually been our 2 best performing cities. We're going to be making our first San Francisco investment this month out of our 14 investments, surprisingly. We just don't see a lot of people of color coming from San Francisco.
What are the sectors, what are the industries right now?
Yeah, so we're industry agnostic. We don't invest in capital intensive industries like energy or infrastructure. We don't do industries like biotech where you need really high expertise to add value. Besides that, we're pretty industry agnostic. We've invested across 9 cities and 9 industries in the US so far.
Earlier in the show, we just talked about a new milestone that's been reached for female founders, where now 2.8% of all of the money that's been spread around is now coming from just female founders alone. I mean, even though this is a record, this is still less than 10%. How do we get this number to be a little bit more respectable?
Yes, I think you need more diversity-focused funds to start. I think part of the problem is on a number basis, there are more women and founders of color getting funded, but as more of the mega rounds, the $100 million plus rounds continue to dominate the market, those are typically white males. So even with the numbers going up, on a dollars basis, you're never going to be able to catch up. And so until you can get more women and minority founders later stage, which is going to take 5+ years to happen, the dollars will never be above the 5–10% mark. And you need more early stage funds focused on this mission to really push that up.
How do market conditions kind of play into your own valuation that you may give a company, how you look at their growth prospects, especially as a lot of the warning signals that have been triggered here in 2018 and 2019 over the past 2 years, they are flashing going into 2020 when you also have an election year too?
Yes, I mean, I think most people think there's going to be a recession next year. Jarrid and I, who are the managing partners, come from private equity, so we always think about the downside case, which isn't true in a lot of venture capital. But we're always thinking about cyclicality. So if we invest in a consumer-focused business, hey, does this business have enough capital to really get past the next 18 months if a recession was to happen? If this business is enterprise, what percentage of their customers are large enough or have longer 1 to 2 year contracts that the business won't get cut in half? So we're thinking about that, but I think if you look over cycles over a long period of time, a number of the top unicorns have not gone down during cycles. And so you just have to invest in the best businesses over time.
Brandon, just very quickly, in addition to Harlem Capital, Wall Street Paper, we know that you also, you have a lot of titles that are going on all at once. When you think about the overall media industry and right now where you look at Wall Street Paper's opportunity to grow, what excites you the most? Where are you looking at adding on to the coverage in 2020?
Well, in terms of our media presence, we have over 500,000 between all the Harlem Capital social channels. So that's been able for us to own our own narrative and tell our own story. Like I said before, that helps us just create more lead and deal flow for investors and also entrepreneurs to come our way. And we're building that competitive moat. We think that we're well positioned, especially with the $40 million, to be one of the leaders in this industry. And anything that I do for Wall Street Paper is good for Harlem Capital. Anything that happens for Harlem Capital is pretty good for Wall Street Paper.
All right, Henri Pierre Jacques, the managing partner at Harlem Capital, and Brandon Bryant, venture partner at Harlem Capital. Thanks so much to both of you guys, and congrats on the recent round.
Thank you.